welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here, as it'll be the New York Jets and their inner-city rivals, the New York Giants. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone, as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
At their own 14-yard line.
Now the NFC's leading rusher a season ago. Here's Saquon Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down. Now Jones. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release, as this will be incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. Taken right around the 44. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And the Jets will have a short field to work with as they take over 1st and 10. Rodgers now on 1st down. Able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. That's complete right side to Lazard. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
That's his first catch of the game, and an impressive one against multiple defenders.
And how about that start? Really aggressive. Yeah, there was double coverage out there, but that didn't stop them at all. They went right at it and defeated it on that play.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
They'll run for the first time with Breece Hall.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Now 2nd and 5. Snap will come from the 6.
To throw, it's Rodgers. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Here's Rodgers to throw. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. C.J. Uzomah, his first touchdown on the year.
And the Jets will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon.
Well, you've got to like that start on both sides of the football. You force the 3 and out, and then you score on your first drive.
Well, I know someone who doesn't like that start.
Well, yeah, the other side.
Yeah, they don't like that at all, right? This is not the way it's supposed to be. But what you just described, that's team football, all right? When you get a 3 and out, you're supposed to take advantage of it on the offensive side of the ball. You said, thank you very much for getting us the rock. Let's put it in the end zone, and they did exactly that.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
The other New York offense getting ready for their next drive. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called, and you want to see how the defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Jones with a handoff to Barkley.
And they will only muster a yard here at the 38.
The Giants at 3 and 4 on the year coming into play. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
You talk about this Jets defense.
They are number 2 in the NFL against the run right now, Charles.
They've established themselves pretty well throughout this season. But boy, what a competitive group of people. They do not like that ranking they have now because they think that they're better, and they're out to prove it again in this game.
Throwing Jones. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
And that'll skip out of bounds inside the 20 at the 17-yard line.
They're on 17-yard line.
The Jets offense ready to go in this Battle of New York.
They enter play here in this one on a 2-game win streak, plus they come off the open week as well. So this is a team that has a lot of things working in their favor.
Oh, it certainly is, and let's face it, this team is playing so well. The worry now is that after a few extra days off, they'll be sluggish coming into this game. So I've heard that he spent more time in practice working what they call good versus good, starting offense versus starting defense. They want a fast start in this next game.
Throwing now is Rodgers.
That one tipped, and it's incomplete. Well, good hands there defensively at 2nd down.
really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky. And they were backed up to start the drive, but not anymore. Now, that's the play call that the offensive coordinator had in his head. You saw the end result. He wanted to go ahead and push the ball downfield, and that's what they did. And they wound up with good yardage there to get things rolling.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's 2nd down. And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one.
We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium.
You talk about this Giant defense. You know, they were very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And all defensive teams that I know talk about creating turnovers. Takeaways, they call them. And anytime you can get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really, really good performance. They exceeded that number in a big way.
Rodgers now to throw. And the Giant rush gets home as down he goes.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And that will be incomplete.
And that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just 1 first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. With it is Jackson. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. The other New York offense getting ready for their next drive. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, this defense for the Jets, very strong in that victory a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Here's Jones to throw on 2nd down. And he rifles one incomplete. The intended target, Saquon Barkley, but now it's 3rd down.
And 9 yards to go.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Now Jones on 3rd down. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the first down. On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. This is taken at the 15. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The Jets offense ready to go in this Battle of New York.
And they are winners of 2 straight games as they have climbed back to 500 now on the season.
And you and I both know this can be a tough team to figure out sometimes, because I remember a few weeks ago you and I having a conversation where we both thought that this was a season that could get away from them pretty quickly. Obviously not. Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Ball again on 2nd down.
And he powers his way up past the 30. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I'll tell you what, these last couple of drives, much better from a defensive perspective. They gave up a touchdown on the opening drive, and then after forcing a punt on their last possession, it looks like they're going to get the football back again.
Here's Jackson, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They'll score that a 36-yard punt,
and they will take over 1st and 10.
The other New York offense getting ready for their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley.
They'll get it across the 35. It'll be 2nd down.
We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this 1st quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7.
Jones fakes the give to Barkley. That ball caught by Slayton. 27 yards there, 1st down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. In motion, the tight end. A 1st down carry for Barkley. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the 1st half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Off play action. Jones.
And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time they were up to the challenge.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Jones. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a 1st down.
You want to see a defensive coordinator get upset and throw his headset? This is the kind of play that'll do it. You force 3rd and long. This is almost sort of a give-up play. You're just hoping to get something positive, and it winds up breaking big, and they convert on 3rd down.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Yeah, their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
2nd and 10.
Again, he'll drop to throw. This is intercepted.
And the Jets are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
The Jets offense ready to go in this battle of New York. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. Hall stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Here's a 2nd and 5.
Throwing is Rodgers.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
The Jets on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. To throw is Rodgers.
This pass out wide to Hall. And he is going to have a Jets 1st down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a 1st down.
Cook on the 1st down carry there as he works his way forward for a gain of about 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd and 6.
They run it again with Cook.
And he'll push ahead for about 3 to the 36. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2.
He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains.
Short yardage situation, you have to wonder if they thought that they were just going to run it inside. But you have to be cognizant of the back slipping out in the backfield trying to find some open space. And that's exactly what he does to the tune of a 1st down.
This pass complete. He finds Jeremy Ruckert.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a 1st down.
So the drive takes him into Giants territory now, 1st and 10, down at the 31. Now Rodgers. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Now a 2nd and 10.
And again, it's Rodgers. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That's good for 28 yards.
It is fun to watch the big man work the middle of the field. How about that post route there? Did an excellent job of getting his head around to look the football in and gain significant yardage.
They'll run with Hall.
And he is in. Touchdown, New York.
Breece Hall with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Jets go up by 2 touchdowns. He finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 downs, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
At their own 18-yard line.
The other New York offense getting ready for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Still second quarter, you get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Able to break through that initial contact and winds up getting about 3 there. It's second down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
Jones now to throw on 3rd down.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Not many boos just yet from this home crowd, but they may be starting soon as I'm starting to detect an uneasy murmur through this crowd. This offense, they've been lifeless in this first half. And now here's another punting situation and a 4th down.
Fielded just inside the 20. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And the Jets will take over.
The Jets offense ready to go in this Battle of New York. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Rodgers now on first down.
Taking a deep shot here for Hardman.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That's a really good job in execution. They avoided the flag downfield and avoided giving up yardage for free. Really good coverage.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
On second down, a run with Hall.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
Now Rodgers. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there.
Kayvon Thibodeaux with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
On the return, Jackson.
43 yards on the punt, return of 4. And out will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 31-yard line.
The other New York offense getting ready for their next drive.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Jones on third down.
Jones in trouble here, and down he goes.
Quentin Williams in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. On to punt, Jamie Gillen. 2 minutes to play first half. It's 14-0. On is Jamie Gillen to punt this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A very good return that time. 18 yards.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Jets offense ready to go in this Battle of New York. They've had a very solid first half, and as we near the end of that first half, they're just looking for a little more on top of their lead right now.
And when you put together a game plan on offense, you put together what you think is going to be the best possible scenario, right? Hey, we're going to score. These are the plays that are going to do it. But you also put together your counters, meaning after they make adjustments to what you're doing, what do we have to go to next?
The adjustment to the adjustment?
Exactly. So I can't wait to see if we come out of the half, how they're going to go about doing things. Do you just keep running what you ran before, or do you go to your counters expecting those adjustments to happen?
Before that, we'll see the end. There he goes, right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York.
Garrett Wilson,
his 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Jets are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. We talk about just coming in and completely seizing momentum. They can go up 21-0 here. We haven't even hit halftime.
And the other part of this, you can start to feel the unrest here in the stadium. I think these fans are saying, what hit us? And this isn't about fantasy points. This is about rooting their team on.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. Morstead out now following the touchdown to
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
Take over first and 10 at their own 13-yard line.
The other New York offense getting ready for their next drive.
Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Throwing again on second down. Jones, he'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack.
Will McDonald brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career. After that sack, 3rd and long, tough spot for Jones and the Giants.
On 3rd down, Jones.
That is caught, and he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout.
Big play here. Big play. Let's make something happen. Come on. Let's go 6.
Here's Jones. A final shot before break.
Now this thrown deep for Slayton. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Picked off by DJ Reed. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. And the Jets set to receive this 3rd quarter kickoff, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in the second half.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
The Jets offense ready to go in this Battle of New York.
Second half starts with a run by Hall.
Big Leonard Williams there on the stop.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
2nd and 8 coming from the 19. Hall again on 2nd down.
He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Under pressure, and down he goes.
Dexter Lawrence able to bust free and get to the quarterback.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Here's Jackson to return, and he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return, and the Giants will begin this drive in good shape, 1st and 10. Now Jones. They'll roll him out right. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going. Trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jones. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for him. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
He's going to field this at the 4. A good return there, call it 13 yards.
At their own 16-yard line.
The Jets offense ready to go in this Battle of New York. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now it's Rodgers. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers. He's got his target. That's complete. A big play there. Rodgers to Cobb. 45 yards.
Everything's been going right here in this one. This offense, they've been in complete control from the outset. And here's another big play. These kind of routes have been open all game long, and they continue to take advantage.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Over the middle and complete to Wilson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Leonard Williams, the former number 6 overall pick, got the sack that time.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play, but sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one, weren't able to do so.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on third down.
Zuerlein's kick is up and through, and the route is on. It's 24-0. So little by little, the better of these two sides starting to become more and more apparent.
3 points is not a knockout blow in the third quarter, but when the other guys haven't shown they can do anything, they don't have any points, this is looking pretty good. Maybe not a knockout blow, but a good stiff jab, that's for sure.
The other New York offense getting ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Running again with Barkley on second down. And Saquon going to have a Giants first down as he'll get this up past the 35-yard line.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Throwing Jones. Now this thrown deep for Slayton. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. C.J. Mosley getting to him behind the line of scrimmage there.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He'll get this out to Barkley complete. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Jones. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
On 2nd and 10, Jones. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Will McDonald in there to record the 2nd sack of his young NFL career. And you get the feeling, Charles, yeah, he's got the 2 sacks now, but he may give more here. We still got a quarter and then some to go.
And the way that he is playing this game, it reminds me of one of the best golfers in the world who can use every club in the bag and make a great shot. That's what he's doing with his pass rush moves right now, showing a little bit of everything. They have no way of stopping him.
And they get Jones for the 3rd time in this ball game. Sauce Gardner picks it off, and the Jets are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. Things just kind of continuing to unravel for them here in this second half. They take the shot downfield, but this defense, once again, up to the task.
Well, this is where you think about the old phrase, desperate times call for desperate measures, because they've got nothing on the scoreboard, and they're just trying to get something, anything to go their way. But in this case, they turn the ball over.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 43 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. On 1st down, right back to Hall. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Xavier
Oh, that's a real nice
McKinney
job there
on
by the
tackle.
defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
This is 2nd and 8.
Time to shine, defense. Time to shine.
Throwing now is Rodgers.
Throwing quickly to Wilson.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Dexter Lawrence finding his way through defensively for the stop.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. Rodgers going to throw.
Pass to Lazard, bringing it in on the crossing route.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense on third down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be 3rd and 5. To throw, it's Rodgers.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete. Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
And they'll get to this and touch it. Looks like, yeah, right at the 15-yard line here.
They're on the 15-yard line.
Here we go. Hey.
The other New York offense getting ready for their next drive.
At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. Just what silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like 1 possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley. Gets it up past the 10 with a nice move. So the completion good for 7 there. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Looking for Campbell downfield. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line.
So a nice play defensively by the rookie, coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a first-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners, they end up winding up on special teams and sub-packages and even on the practice squad. But he's really made an impact on this defense, and he comes up with the interception there.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll try the middle with Cook. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
They'll try to run with Hall. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Breece Hall with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Jets have sewn this one up as they add to their lead here in the fourth. Zuerlein good with a PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards.
Okay, here we go.
The other New York offense getting ready for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one. Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for second down. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Now Jones off the play fake. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Giants first down as they'll wind up getting 7 there on 4th and 3. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try the right side here. Barkley. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. Bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Oh, yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun, Jones. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. But we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Desperation time now. Here's Jones. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. But no reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
They'll look to throw again. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
And this is a situation where, as a head coach, you're just saying, what else could go wrong? Let's get it all out of our system, please. This has been a sloppy game throughout. The execution has been lacking. A lot of mistakes, both mental and physical. And here's a big play that goes by the wayside.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Jones fakes the give to Barkley. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. And the Jets are going to have it here just past the 25. Well, they've got the huge lead now. They have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
The Jets offense ready to go in this Battle of New York.
And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. Now Hall to start the drive.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
Isaiah Simmons, boy, he can move all over the field, and he gets a tackle for loss there.
Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
Well, they went back to him, but the results were similar, so I highly doubt that he'll get another opportunity here on 3rd and long.
Throwing is Rodgers.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet 1st down. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll get it down here to the 43.
57 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the 4th quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
Abanikanda on 1st and 10. And down to the 41.
Taken down at the 41. A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
2nd and 7. And they'll go again with Abanikanda.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps, because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Boy, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed to sleep.
So for the Jets, they move back over 500 now at 4-3, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5, and they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road.